Hey everyone, welcome back to our daily dose of Stoic talks, where we transform everyday struggles into triumphs with a pinch of ancient wisdom. Have you ever felt like you're just a convenience in someone's life, only appreciated when it suits them? Well, that stops today. Ever thought about commanding respect effortlessly, but somehow end up feeling like you're always being sidelined, like you're always available, as if you're just an option in someone's contact list? What if I told you all this is not a dream and it's well within our reach? Yes, my Stoic friends. Today we are diving deep into a compelling strategy that's all about the art of strategic withdrawal, stepping back to let others realize just what they're missing. It's not just about setting boundaries. It's about transforming how you see yourself and how others treat you. And yes, I am talking about Stoicism, a strategy so powerful that it redefines how others perceive and treat you. As the great philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "Respect yourself and others will respect you." This timeless advice underpins our exploration of not allowing oneself to be used. When you carry yourself with dignity and self-respect, you establish a baseline for how others should treat you. This isn't about demanding respect through words, but demonstrating it through action. By embracing this Stoic principle, you teach those around you that your presence isn't just a convenience, it's a privilege. Remember, the respect you show yourself sets the standard for how others will interact with you, ensuring that you are appreciated, not just used. Have you ever wondered how to stop being the only one investing in relationships, but actually find balance? Like you're always on call, as if you're a 24/7 helpline. And yet, what if I told you that changing this dynamic is not just a hopeful fantasy, but entirely achievable? Yes, my Stoic friends. Today, we are going to dive deep into a compelling strategy that's all about self-preservation, stepping back to let others realize your true value. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's about genuinely respecting yourself enough to no longer be taken for granted. All right, it's time for our daily affirmation, a quick yet powerful moment to remind ourselves of our worth. All right, my Stoic friends, let's do this together. If you're up for it, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and say it with me. I know my value. Feel that? That's the power of standing your ground. Now, pop open those eyes and write it on a paper or in the comment section. Write a comment. I know my value. Write it. You must, because writing is a way to really seal that commitment. It's cool, it's simple, and it shouts your worth loud and clear. If you're finding value in our journey through "Don't let them use you," why not give this video a like? Each like helps us share this important message with more people who might need it. We're on a meaningful journey together, and your support makes all the difference. 1. Practice saying no. Have you ever found yourself automatically saying yes to every request, only to regret it moments later? Let's dive into why this happens and how we can shift this habit. So folks, let's discuss the first of our powerful habits that can truly transform the way we handle relationships. Practice saying no. Saying no often feels like walking through a minefield of potential disappointment. Many of us fear the backlash, whether it's upsetting someone we care about or being seen as unkind or selfish. But imagine this. Each time you reluctantly say yes, you might be saying no to your own needs and values. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you say yes to everything, you're reacting to others' demands and not to your own life's agenda. This quote reminds us that our reactions, such as the ability to say no, shape our lives more than any external circumstances. Saying no isn't just a rejection, it's a powerful statement of priority. It tells the world that your time, energy, and priorities are worth respecting. Consider this scenario. You've planned a quiet evening at home, the first one in weeks. Suddenly, a friend calls, asking for a favor that would disrupt your plans. Here's where the magic word works its charm. Politely declining isn't just about preserving your plan, it's about respecting your need for rest and rejuvenation. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, offers us this perspective. If you really want to escape the things that harass you, what you're needing is not to be in a different place, but to be a different person. This quote underpins the habit of saying no as a form of personal evolution. By saying no, you aren't just avoiding unnecessary burdens. You are actively shaping yourself to be someone who values their time and peace above appeasing others. Here are a few tips on how to say no with grace. Be direct but polite. There's no need for elaborate excuses. A simple, "I appreciate you thinking of me, but I can't commit to that right now," maintains both honesty and respect. Offer alternatives if you want to help in a different way or at another time. Stand firm, as people might push back against your no, especially if they're used to hearing yes from you. Beware the guilt that often follows a no. You're not responsible for others' reactions to your boundaries. Each no is a step towards a more balanced life, where your needs are not sidelined. Imagine a life where each yes is given joyfully, because it aligns with your priorities. This isn't a distant dream, but something well within our reach. By practicing saying no, you reclaim control over your life's narrative. You move from being passive to becoming the protagonist in your own story. Remember, my Stoic friends, every time you say no, you're actually saying yes to something else, something that truly matters to you. As you practice this habit, you'll find a newfound respect for your time and self-worth emanating out to others. They'll begin to recognize and respect your boundaries, which in turn fortifies your relationships. So, declare it loud in the comments if you haven't already. I choose what matters most. This is your journey of affirming your worth and your choices. Keep pushing forward, saying no when you need to, and watch as your life aligns more closely with your true values. You are the master of your voyage, and every no steers you closer to your authentic self. Stay strong, stay resilient, and remember, your worth is non-negotiable. 2. Respect your values. Have you ever questioned why it feels so difficult to stand firm on what you believe in, but actually found yourself compromising just to keep the peace? Let's unravel this together. So, folks, let us discuss the second powerful habit in our journey to ensuring you're respected and not used. Respect your values. At the heart of every action we take lies a set of personal values that define who we are. These values guide our decisions, shape our interactions, and ultimately determine how others treat us. Yet, too often, we find ourselves bending these values to accommodate others, fearing that standing firm might alienate or upset them. But imagine this: every time you compromise on your core values, you slowly chip away at your own self-respect. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This quote beautifully encapsulates the importance of our values. What we think, believe, and hold dear is what we ultimately become. When you respect your values, you ensure that your actions align with who you truly are, coloring your life with integrity and authenticity. Respecting your values means that you live in accordance with your beliefs, regardless of the pressure to conform to others' expectations. It's about saying, "This is what I stand for, and I won't compromise on it." Consider this. You've always believed in the importance of honesty, yet you find yourself in a situation where lying might be easier or even expected. What do? Imagine sticking to your guns and telling the truth, even if it's uncomfortable. In that moment, you're not just being honest, you're respecting your core value of truthfulness. And in doing so, you're teaching others that your integrity is non-negotiable. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, provides another valuable insight. Know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. This wisdom emphasizes the need to understand and respect your values as the foundation of your identity. When you truly know who you are and what you stand for, you can make decisions that reflect your true self rather than being swayed by external pressures. Here's why respecting your values is crucial. When you compromise your values, you send a message to others that they can take advantage of your flexibility, that your principles are negotiable. This can lead to situations where you're used or taken for granted because you've shown that you're willing to bend on what's important to you. On the other hand, when you steadfastly respect your values, you project strength and self-respect, setting a standard for how you expect to be treated. Let's talk about how to practice respecting your values in everyday life. Identify your core values. Spend some time reflecting on what truly matters to you. Is it honesty, loyalty, kindness, independence? Knowing your core values is the first step in ensuring you live by them. Once you've identified your core values, make sure your actions consistently reflect them. For example, if you value honesty, practice it even in situations where it might be easier to tell a white lie. Communicate your values clearly. Let others know where you stand. This doesn't mean you have to go around preaching, but when a situation arises that challenges your values, be clear and firm about your position. Resist peer pressure. It's easy to go along with the crowd, but true strength lies in sticking to your values, even when it's unpopular. Reflect and reassess regularly. Periodically check in with yourself to ensure that you're still living in alignment with your values. As you grow, your understanding of your values might evolve, but the commitment to living by them should remain strong. Imagine this scenario. You're in a group where gossiping is the norm, but one of your core values is kindness. By refusing to participate in the gossip, you're not just abstaining from a negative behavior. You're actively respecting your value of kindness. Over time, others will notice that you're someone who doesn't waver on what's important, and they'll begin to respect you more for it. Now, let's wrap this up with a motivational boost, my Stoic friends. Every time you respect your values, you're building a life of integrity and self-respect that others will admire and honor. By standing firm on what you believe in, you're teaching others how to treat you, showing them that your values are the foundation of your identity and that they're not up for negotiation. So, declare it loud in the comments. I stand by my values. This is your journey towards living a life true to yourself, where respect isn't just expected, it's earned. Keep moving forward, respecting your values with every step, and watch as your relationships become richer, deeper, and more fulfilling. Remember, when you respect your values, you respect yourself, and in doing so, you ensure that others do the same. Your values are your guiding stars. Let them shine bright and unwavering in every aspect of your life. Stay true, stay strong, and never forget that your worth is defined by the values you hold dear. 3. Establish clear boundaries. Have you ever felt like your kindness is being taken advantage of, like you're giving so much of yourself only to receive little in return? Let's talk about how to stop this from happening. So folks, let us dive into the third powerful habit that will help ensure you're respected and not used. Establish clear boundaries. Establishing clear boundaries is like building a protective fortress around your well-being, and it's absolutely essential in relationships. Imagine this. Without boundaries, you're like an open field with no fences. Anyone can walk through, trample over, and take whatever they want. But when you set clear boundaries, you define the limits of what is acceptable and what isn't, making it clear to others where they can and cannot tread. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This quote reminds us that true freedom comes from within, and part of mastering yourself is setting boundaries that protect your peace and dignity. Set boundaries isn't about shutting people out. It's about teaching them how to treat you. It's about creating a space where respect is mutual, and your needs are just as important as anyone else's. For example, imagine a friend who constantly asks for your time and energy without considering your schedule. By setting a boundary such as, "I'm happy to help, but I need to know a day in advance," you're not just preserving your time, you're teaching your friend to value it too. Establishing clear boundaries can initially feel uncomfortable, especially if you're used to prioritizing others' needs over your own. But here's the truth. If you don't respect your own boundaries, no one else will either. It's not about being difficult, it's about being clear. A simple, firm, and respectful boundary can prevent misunderstandings and reduce feelings of being used or taken for granted. Let's consider another example. Imagine you're in a relationship where your partner expects you to drop everything whenever they need you. Without boundaries, this expectation can lead to resentment and burnout. However, if you establish a boundary like, "I need time to focus on my work and personal growth, so I won't be available at certain times," you're not only protecting your own well-being, but also setting the stage for a healthier, more balanced relationship. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic giant, once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This powerful quote highlights the importance of your internal landscape. When you allow your thoughts to be shaped by the desires and demands of others, your soul becomes overwhelmed, colored by their needs rather than your own. Establishing boundaries ensures that your thoughts, time, and energy remain aligned with your true self, rather than being diluted by external pressures. When setting boundaries, it's important to be consistent. Inconsistency can confuse others and weaken the boundaries you're trying to establish. For instance, if you set a boundary but frequently allow it to be crossed, others may not take your boundaries seriously. Consistency is key to reinforcing your limits and ensuring that they are respected. It's also important to remember that setting boundaries is an act of self-respect, not selfishness. Many people fear that setting boundaries will make them appear unkind or uncaring. But in reality, boundaries are a way of ensuring that you can show up fully and authentically in your relationships without feeling drained or taken advantage of. Imagine a life where your boundaries are respected and your needs are met. This isn't just wishful thinking, it's entirely within your control. By establishing clear boundaries, you create a healthy balance in your relationships, where both parties feel valued and respected. This balance not only protects you from being used, but also fosters stronger, more meaningful connections with others. As we wrap up, remember, my Stoic friends, that boundaries are not walls. They are bridges to better understanding and mutual respect. When you establish clear boundaries, you're teaching others how to treat you, and you're setting the standard for how you want to live your life. So let's take a moment to affirm our commitment to this habit. If you haven't already, declare it in the comments. My boundaries protect my peace. This is your commitment to respecting yourself and ensuring that others do the same. Keep moving forward with strength and clarity, setting the boundaries that protect your well-being and affirm your worth. Each boundary you establish is a step towards a life where you are not just used, but truly valued. Stay strong, stay resilient, and remember, your boundaries are the foundation of your freedom. 4. Communicate openly and honestly. Have you ever found yourself holding back your true feelings or thoughts, only to later realize it led to misunderstandings or feeling used? So folks, let's dive into our 4th habit. Communicate openly and honestly in the journey to ensure you're not being taken advantage of. This habit is absolutely essential. Why do we hesitate to speak our minds? Often it's the fear of conflict, rejection, or not being understood. But imagine this. Every time you bite your tongue, you're giving others the power to define the terms of the relationship. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If we aren't expressing our thoughts clearly, how can we expect our relationships to reflect our true selves? Open and honest communication ensures that you are seen and heard for who you really are, preventing others from using your silence against you. Now, have you ever wondered how a simple conversation could prevent you from being used, but actually found yourself avoiding the tough talks, like you're constantly sidestepping issues, as if avoiding them will somehow make them disappear? What if I told you that embracing these conversations is not just necessary, but a key to healthier, more balanced relationships? Yes, my Stoic friends, honest communication isn't just about expressing your needs. It's about safeguarding your dignity and setting clear expectations. Imagine this scenario. You're feeling overwhelmed because your partner constantly asks for favors, but you've never told them how this makes you feel. By not addressing this, you inadvertently allow the pattern to continue, leading to feelings of resentment and being used. Now picture how different things could be if you calmly said, "I feel like I'm taking on more than I can handle right now, and it's affecting me. Can we find a better balance?" This simple yet honest statement not only expresses your feelings, but also invites your partner to step up and share the responsibility, reinforcing that your time and energy are valuable. But how do you communicate openly without coming across as confrontational or overly critical? The key lies in using I statements, focusing on how you feel rather than what the other person is doing wrong. For example, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," try, "I feel unheard when our conversations are one-sided." This approach opens the door to constructive dialogue rather than defensiveness. Epictetus offers us another nugget of wisdom. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. This quote beautifully ties into the practice of open communication. It's not just about speaking your truth, but also about actively listening to others. When you listen deeply, you're better equipped to respond in ways that honor both your needs and the relationship, creating a dynamic where mutual respect flourishes. Have you ever noticed how unspoken assumptions can lead to being taken for granted? We often expect others to know our boundaries and needs without explicitly stating them. But here's the thing. Unspoken expectations are the breeding ground for misunderstandings and misuse. Imagine a relationship where you openly discuss what you need and expect. How liberating would that be? Open and honest communication acts as a preventative measure, ensuring that you're not left feeling used or overlooked. And let's not forget the importance of consistency in communication. Have you ever thought about how inconsistent communication might send mixed signals, but actually found it difficult to maintain a steady dialogue? Like you're sometimes clear and direct, as if clarity comes and goes depending on the situation. What if I told you that consistent, honest communication could transform your relationships? When you're consistently open and honest, it builds trust and eliminates the guesswork, making it harder for others to take advantage of you. Now let's talk about the emotional aspect. Have you ever felt like holding back your emotions to keep the peace, but actually ended up feeling more disconnected and used? Like you're suppressing your true feelings as if bottling them up will keep everything in control. What if I told you that expressing your emotions honestly, without fear of judgment, strengthens your relationships rather than weakens them? Being emotionally transparent not only fosters deeper connections, but also ensures that your needs are recognized and respected. Finally, remember that communication isn't just about the big, serious talks. It's about the everyday exchanges that build the foundation of your relationship. Think of it as maintaining a garden, regular care and attention. Prevent weeds from taking over. By being open and honest daily, you prevent misunderstandings and misuse before they have a chance to take root. In conclusion, my Stoic friends, open and honest communication is your shield against being used. It's how you ensure that your relationships are based on mutual respect and understanding. So have you ever wondered how much easier life could be if you simply spoke your truth, but actually found it daunting, like you're hesitating as if the truth might do more harm than good? What if I told you that speaking your truth is not only empowering but essential for healthy relationships? Yes. Let's commit to this habit together. Let's be honest, let's be open, and let's ensure that our words reflect our worth. So if you're ready to take this step, drop a comment that says, "I speak my truth." Let's make this commitment to ourselves and our relationships, ensuring we are never taken for granted. Remember, your voice is your power. Use it wisely, use it often, and use it to defend your worth. Stay strong, stay true, and remember, open communication is the cornerstone of respect, and respect is the foundation of every meaningful relationship. If you found value in these insights on not letting others use you, be sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue sharing powerful Stoic habits that can transform your life. 5. Seek emotional balance. Have you ever felt like your emotions are running the show, making you vulnerable to being used by others? It's time to take control and regain your balance. So folks, let us discuss the 5th habit in our journey. Seek emotional balance. Emotional balance is not just about staying calm. It's about maintaining your inner equilibrium so that you're not easily swayed or manipulated by others. When you're emotionally balanced, you stand firm in your decisions and are less likely to be taken advantage of. Why is emotional balance so crucial in relationships? Imagine being in a situation where your partner's moods dictate your actions. One minute you're on top of the world, and the next you're plunged into doubt and anxiety because their mood has shifted. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, reminds us you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This quote underscores the importance of focusing on your internal state rather than allowing external circumstances to control you. By seeking emotional balance, you protect yourself from being used by those who might exploit your emotional reactions. Have you ever wondered how to remain calm and composed when everything around you is in chaos? Like keeping a steady ship on stormy seas, as if your inner peace is an anchor. What if I told you this level of emotional control is well within your reach? Yes, my Stoic friends, seeking emotional balance is not just about avoiding emotional highs and lows. It's about cultivating a stable inner world where you are the master of your emotions, not the other way around. When we let our emotions dictate our actions, we give away our power. Imagine this. You're in a heated argument, and your emotions take over, leading you to say things you later regret. In that moment, you're not in control, your emotions are. And when others see that you can be easily triggered or swayed, they might start using this against you, manipulating your feelings to get what they want. This is why seeking emotional balance is vital. It's your shield against manipulation. So, how do you achieve this emotional balance? First, it's important to recognize your triggers. What situations or people tend to push your buttons? Once you identify these, you can start working on how to respond rather than react. Seneca offers us wisdom here. He who is brave is free. Freedom in this context means emotional freedom, the ability to remain calm and centered no matter what's happening around you. When you're emotionally balanced, you're not a slave to your emotions or to the manipulations of others. Have you ever noticed how, when you're emotionally off balance, everything feels overwhelming, like you're constantly on edge, as if walking on a tightrope? What if I told you that finding emotional balance could transform your life, making you less susceptible to being used? By grounding yourself in Stoic principles, you can approach situations with a clear, calm mind, making decisions that align with your values, and not just your immediate emotions. Maintaining emotional balance doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It's about acknowledging them, understanding them, and then deciding how to act in a way that serves your best interests. For example, imagine your partner says something hurtful. Instead of lashing out in anger, you take a moment to breathe, assess the situation, and respond calmly. This doesn't mean you let the hurt slide. It means you choose a response that upholds your dignity and self-respect, rather than giving into a knee-jerk reaction that might lead to more harm than good. Let's talk about how emotional balance ties into our core topic. Don't let them use you. When you are emotionally balanced, you're less likely to be manipulated by guilt, fear, or pressure. People who seek to use others often prey on emotional vulnerabilities. They know which buttons to push and how to create a reaction that benefits them. But when you've cultivated emotional balance, those buttons become harder to push. You become like a fortress, steady and unshakable, not easily swayed by the tactics of those who might try to take advantage of you. Another powerful tool in seeking emotional balance is mindfulness. Have you ever wondered how being present in the moment can help you avoid being used? Like staying grounded in reality, as if your mind is a calm lake reflecting the truth. Mindfulness helps you stay connected to your inner self, making it easier to recognize when someone is trying to manipulate or use you. By being fully present, you can better assess situations and make decisions that are in your best interest. Imagine a life where you respond to challenges with calm confidence, where you're not easily thrown off course by someone else's emotional turbulence. This isn't just a dream, it's a reality that's within your grasp through the practice of emotional balance. By grounding yourself in the present moment, acknowledging your emotions without letting them control you, and responding with thoughtfulness and intention, you protect yourself from being used and ensure that your relationships are based on mutual respect and understanding. Remember, my Stoic friends, emotional balance is the key to maintaining your personal power. It allows you to navigate relationships with grace and strength, ensuring that you're not taken advantage of or manipulated. As you continue to practice this habit, you'll find yourself becoming more resilient, more centered, and more in control of your life and relationships. Sixth, demand respect. Don't just expect it. Have you ever wondered why, despite doing everything right, you still feel overlooked or taken for granted? Let's explore why that happens and how we can shift this dynamic. So folks, let's discuss our sixth habit. Demand respect. Don't just expect it. Why do we often feel that respect should come naturally, yet find ourselves disappointed when it doesn't? Respect isn't something that magically appears. It's something we cultivate and, at times, must demand. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If you think of yourself as unworthy or insignificant, those around you will pick up on that and act accordingly. Respect starts with how you see yourself, and it must be reinforced by how you expect others to see you as well. Have you ever noticed that simply hoping for respect often leads to disappointment? Like you're silently waiting for others to treat you right, as if they should just know how you want to be treated. What if I told you that respect is not just about waiting for others to recognize your worth, but about actively showing them what you deserve? Yes, my Stoic friends, demanding respect is about teaching others how to treat you by setting the example in how you carry yourself. Imagine this. You're in a meeting, contributing valuable ideas, but the spotlight never seems to find you. It's as if your words are spoken into the void, unacknowledged. This is where demanding respect becomes crucial. It's not about being confrontational. It's about confidently asserting your presence. When you demand respect, you ensure that your voice is heard and valued. The difference between expecting respect and demanding it is the difference between passively waiting for others to notice your worth and actively demonstrating it. But how exactly do you demand respect without coming across as arrogant? The key lies in your actions and consistency. Respect isn't earned by loud proclamations or harsh demands. It's cultivated through consistent behavior that aligns with your values. Marcus Aurelius also said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." In the same way, don't waste time expecting others to treat you well. Show them how you deserve to be treated by embodying the respect you seek. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to command respect effortlessly, while others struggle to gain even basic acknowledgement? Like there's a mysterious quality that they have, as if they're always seen as important and worthy. What if I told you this isn't about luck or charisma, but about the standards you set for yourself and others? Demanding respect is about making sure you never settle for less than you deserve. It's about setting high standards and refusing to tolerate anything that falls below them. Let's consider a real-world example. Imagine you're in a relationship where your efforts and contributions often go unnoticed. You feel like you're always giving, but rarely receiving the acknowledgement or appreciation you deserve. This is where you must demand respect, not through ultimatums, but through a shift in how you engage. Start by communicating openly about your needs and boundaries. Let your partner know what respect looks like to you. If these boundaries are crossed or your efforts continue to be unappreciated, be prepared to take a stand, whether that means having a tough conversation or, in some cases, stepping back from the relationship. Remember, demanding respect is not about forcing someone to respect you. It's about ensuring that you are treated with the dignity you inherently deserve. Have you ever felt like you're putting in all the effort only to be met with indifference? Like you're the one always reaching out, as if maintaining the relationship depends solely on you? What if I told you that by demanding respect, you can change this dynamic and create more balanced and fulfilling interactions? Respect is a two-way street. And when you demand it, you pave the way for mutual respect to flourish. It's not just about receiving respect, it's about creating an environment where respect is the foundation of all your relationships. As we wrap up, Remember this: demanding respect isn't about being demanding. It's about being discerning. It's about knowing your worth and refusing to accept anything less than what you deserve. As you practice this habit, you'll notice a shift, not only in how others treat you, but in how you see yourself. You'll become more confident, more assertive, and more in control of your relationships. Seventh, reaffirm your self-worth. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to radiate confidence effortlessly, commanding respect, while others struggle to be seen? The secret often lies in their ability to reaffirm their self-worth. So folks, let's dive into our seventh habit: reaffirm your self-worth. Why is it so important to regularly remind yourself of your value? Imagine this: if you don't see your own worth, how can you expect others to? Reaffirming your self-worth isn't about arrogance. It's about recognizing the unique qualities and strengths you bring to the table. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If you fill your mind with thoughts of worthlessness, that's how others will see you too. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to let someone's negative opinion of you seep into your own self-perception? This is where reaffirming your worth becomes crucial. Each day, take a moment to remind yourself of your strengths and achievements. This isn't just a feel-good exercise. It's a powerful way to build a shield against those who might try to use or diminish you. How can reaffirming your worth protect you from being used? When you truly value yourself, you set higher standards for how you're treated. You'll find it easier to walk away from situations or relationships that don't honor your worth. So remember, my Stoic friends, the more you affirm your value, the less likely you are to be taken for granted. Eighth, invest in personal growth. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a rut, constantly giving to others but not growing yourself? Let's talk about the importance of investing in personal growth and how it directly protects you from being used. When you commit to your own development, you're not just adding new skills. You're fortifying your self-respect and signaling to others that you value yourself. What if I told you that by prioritizing your growth, you naturally start to set higher standards for how you're treated? Imagine this: as you evolve, your self-perception shifts, and with it, how others perceive you. This isn't just about learning new things. It's about cultivating a mindset where you demand and receive the respect you deserve. Why does personal growth matter so much in relationships? Because it changes the power dynamic. As you invest in yourself, you become less dependent on others for validation. You transform from someone who can be taken for granted into someone who commands respect. So, my Stoic friends, let's embrace this journey of self-improvement, knowing that every bit of growth makes us stronger and less likely to be used. Your personal development is your strongest shield against exploitation. Ninth, cherish your solitude. Have you ever wondered why solitude feels so uncomfortable, but actually, it's one of the most empowering experiences you can have? Like you're alone, as if the silence is too loud. And yet, what if I told you that embracing solitude is not just about being alone? It's about reconnecting with your inner strength and ensuring that no one can use you? Yes, my Stoic friends. Today we're diving into the importance of cherishing your solitude. Why do we often fear being alone? It's because we're conditioned to seek validation from others. But imagine this: solitude is where you truly get to know yourself. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." When you cherish your solitude, you protect yourself from becoming overly reliant on others for happiness, making it harder for anyone to take advantage of your need for company. What happens when you learn to enjoy your own company? You become a fortress of self-reliance, no longer swayed by the need for constant social interaction. This self-reliance is the cornerstone of ensuring that others don't take your presence for granted. So, my Stoic friends, cherish your solitude. It's your greatest ally in guarding against being used. 10th, selective availability. Have you ever noticed how being too available can sometimes lead to being taken for granted? Let's dive into our final habit, selective availability. This habit is all about making sure that your time and energy are valued, not exploited. When you're always available at the drop of a hat, people might start to see you as a convenience rather than someone with their own life and priorities. Why is it that the more we give, the less we seem to be appreciated? It's a strange paradox, but one that often rings true. By being selectively available, you create a sense of value around your time. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This applies here. Don't waste your time on those who don't respect you. By choosing when and how to engage with others, you ensure that your presence is something to be respected, not taken for granted. Have you ever wondered how powerful it feels to have control over your own time and energy? By setting boundaries around your availability, you protect your personal space and ensure that those who do interact with you do so with respect.